Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Lindsay Addington, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all to today's discussion on what makes studying engineering at a U.S. institution, and particularly in an online setting, such an exciting and transformative experience. We're thrilled to be joined by distinguished representatives from Columbia, Penn, and Purdue, three universities renowned for their excellence in engineering education. And I'm excited to invite them on screen to introduce themselves. We'll start with you, Sean.
Good morning. Thank you, Lindsay. Um, Happy Tuesday, everybody, wherever you are. Thrilled to be here with you this morning here in New York City. My name is Sean Wiggins. I'm the executive director of the Columbia Video Network, which is the online engineering wing of Columbia Engineering at Columbia University in the city of New York. Thank you.
Great. And Sarah?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Sarah Lanu. I am a senior online enrollment counselor, specifically for our online programs here with the School of Engineering. Thank you for joining us. I look forward to speaking to you later today.
Wonderful. Thanks. And Jean?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jean McFadden. I'm the Senior Director for Graduate Admissions and Enrollment at the University of Pennsylvania. So can't wait to talk to you later about our amazing programs that we have.
Wonderful. Thanks, Sean and Sarah and Jean. You will be hearing from each of them in just a few minutes. But before, we are going to briefly cover what makes the Duolingo English test, the sponsor of this webinar, unique as an English proficiency test. Similar to online engineering programs you're going to hear about, the Duolingo English test is an online digital English test, and I'll share a bit more with you about that. We'll briefly go over just what this program today, what this webinar will cover, online graduate engineering programs in the US. And then each institution is going to take a turn to dive deep into what makes their programs unique, how to apply to their programs, and what a student experience is like when you're studying within one of their programs. We will leave a few minutes at the end to answer your burning questions and make sure that you know how to get in touch with each of these programs. So the Duolingo English test is an online test that you can take anytime, anywhere. It is flexible, similar to the programs that you're going to be hearing about today, and it's fast. We are a computer adaptive test of English proficiency that's completed in under 1 hour, and you get results within 2 days. Each of the programs you're hearing about today, their admission deadlines to apply are upcoming. You still have time to take a Duolingo English test to apply to their programs. It's affordable for $70 US and no additional hidden fees or expenses. You're able to receive your results and share with an unlimited number of institutions. And we're accurate, we're reliable, valid, and secure. We're built on the latest assessment research using the latest innovations in technology to ensure that we provide you as a test taker and the institutions that use your scores for admission purposes a reliable English proficiency assessment. And we're trusted by over 5,700 universities around the world, 3 of whom are with us here today. And so the Duolingo English test can be used to apply and pursue your educational path at many institutions today. So online graduate programs, what is it all about? Engineering has always been about pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And in today's world, access to top-tier education is no longer confined to the walls of a classroom. The US has long been a global leader in engineering innovation, and its institutions offer an unparalleled combination of cutting-edge research, industry partnerships, and interdisciplinary collaboration. Whether you're designing the next breakthrough in AI, sustainable energy, or biomedical technology, studying engineering at a US university provides the tools, the network, and the hands-on experience to turn those bold ideas into reality. And what's even more exciting is that the world-class education is more accessible than ever. Online programs now offer the same rigorous curriculum, distinguished faculty, and opportunities for collaboration as their on-campus counterparts, allowing students from around the world to tap into these resources without relocating, and often while balancing careers and other commitments. Today, we'll dive into what makes these three institutions unique, explore how online learning is shaping the future of engineering education, and hear firsthand from experts on how you can leverage these programs to advance your career and impact the world. So let's get started. We're going to start with Sean at Columbia.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, everybody. It's an honor to be able to talk to you today, representing the Columbia Video Network at Columbia Engineering. Columbia Video Network is an old name, and the reason it's an old name is because our office was founded in 1986. Right, that's how long Columbia Engineering has been committed to delivering graduate degrees for students who aren't able to come to campus. In 1986, our commitment to those learners looked a little bit different. It involved FedExing VHS tapes to our learners around the globe, faxing exams to the HR departments where they worked. We've been at this a long time, right? That's how long we've been committed to reaching out to people wherever they are. In 2002, we went online for the first time, as soon as technology allowed. And in 2014 was the first time we were voted the best online graduate engineering program by US News. And we've bounced around the top of those rankings ever since. What makes us unique in comparison to our wonderful peers who are also on this call, primarily is our location in New York City. Columbia University was founded in New York City in 1754. It is older than the United States government. And in our central location in New York City, it connects us to so many things, including the industry and the research sectors and the financial sectors that are located therein. Many of our top researchers also hold positions at important places like the New York Times. We're able to draw adjuncts from our local base at top financial firms, etc. And because of that, this spot, Columbia is the second largest landowner in New York City, with a vast amount of centers that dedicated to brain research, nanotechnology, and other incredible things that are listed here. But we really want to focus on our location to the Columbia Business School and as a place for entrepreneurship. In the past 10 years, there's been 57 faculty startups that began, 412 patents that are issued out of our startup labs. This is a place that we really utilize. When you're a member of Columbia University, you're not just a student, but you're a New Yorker. Now, our students in the online program, or who are taking classes online, look a little bit different than the graduate students who come on campus. You'll see most of them, the average age are 28. We tend to be more domestic than international historically. And every single one of those people enters into our Columbia alumni network. Really, the biggest differentiator in the people who are taking our courses online tend to be that they're working full-time. And because of that, we've built flexibility into all of our practices. I think we're going to get into some of the things that are the differences for online students and on-campus students. But one thing that you need to know, and I think really is a core principle into how we work backwards from everything here, is that an on-campus student and an online student earn exactly the same degree. They take exactly the same courses. They do exactly the same coursework. We work backwards from this idea to create the same level of experience for online students as we do for on-campus students. Okay, a few things to know, right? One differentiator between our office and maybe my colleagues from the other wonderful schools that you'll hear from is we have a really wide array of degree programs that are possible for you. We offer 12 different MS degree programs, and many of those with their own concentrations. If you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of the wide MS degree programs that we offer via Columbia Video Network, I urge you to go to our website. Our acronym is CVN for Columbia Video Network, cvn.columbia.edu, and hit the Fields of Study page. You'll see not only our MS degrees, but also a wide range of accredited certificate programs that are 12 credits in length that you may be interested in as well. All of our MS degree programs have 10 to 12 courses required, and there's flexibility from either 2 years to 5 years. That time within is mostly self-paced. You can come in and take 1 course a term or 2 courses a term. That's really up to you, right? Flexibility is king in our model. And the courses that you can take each term are drawn from the same courses that on-campus students can take each term. At the beginning of each term, we evaluate the academic progress of the students taking courses via CVN. We analyze the courses that they need to complete their degrees and which they'd like to take. We survey demand from our online students, and we make sure that those courses are being recorded and available to CVN students every single term. Important to know, in case you have any questions about this, online students are admitted by the exact same criteria and by the same exact academic departments as on-campus students. They're in no way diminished, or they're held to the same exact standard as on-campus students. And again, you will receive the same exact degree. I mentioned our wide menu of options and courses that are available in the online format. And this ranges across the 10 academic departments at Columbia Engineering. Engineering is the second largest school at Columbia, second only to Columbia College, and primarily because it's comprised of this vast array of academic departments. We started simply as a school of mining in 1863. And obviously, education in engineering looks very different today. Far and away, our largest academic department these days is computer science. So I touched on a few of these things before, but I want to make it clear to you exactly what it means to be taking courses via CVN at Columbia Engineering. You will be alongside on-campus students in each of the courses that you take. That is, while students are taking courses in real time, you will be able to access a live feed of those classes, and moreover, afterwards, you'll be able to view those recordings, right? That's a differentiator that most on-campus students don't gain access to. We really want to stress this point because there is no synchronous component for 99% of the courses that we offer online, right? So these are courses that you can take entirely at your own pace within a given week, right? You don't need to be available during class time to take those courses. Because you're doing the same coursework, because you're taking the same exams, because you're viewing the same material and interacting with the same TAs and instructors, you earn the same exact degree as on-campus students. You will walk in commencement if you're able to come to campus alongside the on-campus counterparts. And our team regularly integrates you into the social scene at Columbia University. When you graduate, you become a part of our illustrious alumni group, same as on-campus students. Because of that, it also costs the same as on-campus students. So it's really the same experience from start to finish. What is unique as well, though, is our team has resources to aid you if you're in a position that your company might sponsor your employment. You can reach out to us. Our email, which will be in the chat and is littered across these slides, is info@cvn.columbia.edu. If you have any questions about how to begin a conversation like that with your employer, please let us know. Just reach out to us. I'll provide some resources and able to help you do that. We also have longstanding industrial partnerships. There's a chance that we have already had people from your company work at CVN, or rather take their classes through CVN previously. So we may be able to help with those conversations. Financial aid is limited, although it is need-based, and there is some as necessary. Okay. For admissions, what you need to apply. The GRE is optional, and the requirements here, I imagine, will be very similar to what you'll see from my colleagues here that will come up shortly. The GRE is optional for application to this program. The biggest question we get is, I don't have an engineering background, or I didn't take STEM courses as an undergrad. Can I still apply? All of our programs require some background, an undergraduate background in a STEM field. That is engineering, math, physics, computer science, or something related to those. So all of our programs do require an undergraduate degree in those programs. The computer science program requires a little bit more than that. The computer science program requires an undergraduate degree in computer science. If you do not have an undergraduate degree in computer science, but do have an undergraduate degree in some related STEM field, then you can contact the computer science department. They'll ask to see you take 6 courses, perhaps in a non-matriculated sense from a different university, as prerequisites before entering into the computer science program. One thing you might consider is that the CVN office at Columbia Engineering also offers a non-degree track. So you can theoretically take those courses as prerequisites at Columbia Engineering as an example for the computer science department here. If you have any questions again about anything like that, again, please contact us at info@cvn. Next slide, please. Thank you very much for your time. It's been nice to be part of your day. There's our QR code. We hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much, Sean. That was really informative and great to have the contact information for any interested students who want to follow up with you to learn more. We're going to move now to Sarah at Purdue University and excited to hear more about what sets your engineering programs apart, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to all of you about Purdue University and our engineering programs. To tell you just a little bit about Purdue University, we are a top public research university. We are founded in 1869 in West Lafayette, Indiana. Originally, our mission was to provide practical education focused on agriculture, engineering, and military tactics. So, our College of Engineering was founded pretty quickly after we started our university in 1874. Just a little bit of background. We granted our first degree in 1875, our first PhD program in 1897. And interestingly enough, in 1922, we broadcasted our first engineering course over the radio, technically initiating our first distance education course. Our graduate school started in 1929, and in 2014, our international student enrollment became the top among US public universities. So we have a large number of international students here at Purdue University. Now, our College of Engineering program really stands apart in its legacy of impact on the modern world. We've pioneered medical technologies like implantable cardiac defibrillators. We've also pioneered space exploration. We've had 27 US astronauts graduate from Purdue engineering programs, including the first man on the moon. We've also established some national and international industry programs like Women in Engineering, the National Society of Black Engineers, and we have wide-ranging industry partnerships and national grants to conduct groundbreaking research. But to go over a little bit more about kind of what we have available for you. No, sorry, go back. Just to finish this up, we have 11 engineering schools that we have programs involved in, almost 500 faculty and 16,000 students. Of our programs, we have 9 of our graduate programs and 7 undergraduate programs that are ranked in the top 10 by US News and World Report. Our online graduate programs are currently ranked 2nd in the country. And we were the world's first school of engineering education in the United States. So for our College of Engineering online program, it is titled our Robert H. Buckman College of Engineering Online Education Program. We're currently a top ranking global provider of online engineering education. We are among the largest with online course selection. We have over 200 plus engineering courses that are available online. We offer doctorate, master's, graduate certificates, professional certificates, and professional development courses available all online. And right now we have over 1,800 students taking courses 100% online in our College of Engineering. These are some of the courses that we offer in our engineering program. 8 out of our 11 schools offer graduate online degrees, and 3 of these programs showing, you can see the asterisk, are actually ranked #1 by US World and News Report, and 1 program, the civil engineering, is ranked 2nd by US News and World Report. So these are the full master's programs through the colleges. We also have something unique. We have an interdisciplinary engineering program. What we have seen is the increasing need and demand in the marketplace for professionals who have interdisciplinary skill sets. As you probably know better than I do, being in the engineering field, that technological advancements and developments in engineering methods and processes are really coming to the spot where it's requiring interdisciplinary expertise to really master the field of engineering, and increasing the need for engineers to engage with stakeholders and translate complex ideas to different audiences. So what we have done is we've created an interdisciplinary engineering department where we offer interdisciplinary online degrees, including a doctorate of engineering and a master's of science in interdisciplinary engineering with 5 different majors, 14 concentrations, and a dual master's in engineering and MBA program. Go ahead to the next slide. It shows you all the different concentrations that are available, as well as the majors that are offered. Feel free to use the QR code if this is something that interests you and you can read about all the different areas of study. These programs allow you to take courses in concentrations and majors, but also utilize our 200 plus courses to really create and tailor your degree to be specific to what you need to learn about. Our online experience, similar to Columbia, we offer the same curriculum, courses, and faculty as our on-campus. So you are learning alongside our on-campus students. What we do is we record our lectures, upload them online so that you can watch them at your convenience. You'll also be doing the same projects, homework, and other work assigned by the instructor, the same as you are going to be doing on campus. We allow you to develop a flexible course plan. You can decide how much work you want to take on each semester, number of classes, which also lets you define how long it takes you to complete the program. They are 100% online and they are asynchronous. There's no requirement on you logging in at a certain day or time or number of times a week. We have online office hours where you can work with TAs and instructors, as well as you have the opportunity to connect with students online. You'll have access to all of the Purdue resources, library, online labs, anything that you could need, we make available to you online. We deliver all our courses through Brightspace. That is our delivery system. Most of these degrees can be completed in 2 to 3 years while working full-time. The majority of our students do work full-time as well as go to school. And something I realized I forgot to put the bullet point in here for tuition. Our master's degree programs range in cost from $25,000 to just under $50,000 for the master's program. Our admissions requirements and our required documents. Each program that you want to enroll in is slightly different. The range of our GPA requirements are generally a 3.0 or above. There are a couple programs that's a 3.2, that's on a 4.0 scale. Part of our admissions is we will evaluate your transcripts to see if your marks are different than a 4.0 scale. We will calculate that for you. We do require an undergraduate degree in a STEM or closely related field, depending upon the degree. If you do not have it in a STEM area, if you have something similar, they will consider it if you have several years of hands-on engineering experience. They will take a look at your file to see if you're potentially could be enrolled into the program. We also have math prerequisites. So if you are outside of an engineering degree, each program has several courses, usually several calculus courses, linear algebra, differential equations that you need to take to be in the program. Our required documents are probably pretty similar to other schools. We require all transcripts from every school you've attended. And I did put in here that with any international transcripts, we do need both original language and English translation if the school is not taught in English. We require a resume. We do require 2 statements, an academic statement and a personal history statement, 3 letters of recommendation, and an English language proficiency, which we do accept the Duolingo test. Payment options. We have several different payment options. We have as simple as you can put it on your credit card. We do charge a small percentage fee, electronic check or bank transfer with no fees. We can set up installment plans. It's generally a 3 to 4 month installment plan, so you can pay over the time of the semester. We do charge an 8% interest charge on that. And then we do work with employers and tuition assistants where we can set up direct billing to your employer and we can bill them directly so that you don't have to have any money out of pocket. I put the information for our bursar's office. They are the one that handles all of these payment options. They are a great resource if you'd like to attend Purdue, and they can help you get that set up. Finally, well, last but not least, definitely not least, is our student services. You will get to take advantage of all the resources available to you at Purdue, same as our on-campus students. You'll have availability with our online student toolbox to learn about how to make the most of your online discussions, what different accommodations can we make for online students, how to communicate with faculty, staff, and students, how to get technology resources and support. We have an entire team that is dedicated to supporting our online students. Next steps, if you're interested in Purdue, that is the website to apply to our program. That is the email address. That email address actually goes directly to me. So please jot down that email address. If you have any questions about Purdue, please email me. I am so happy to help. And you can also schedule an appointment with me. If you use that QR code, it will go straight to a link to my calendar, and you can go right ahead and set an appointment with me. I'd be happy to talk to you a little bit more about which program you are interested in, and we can talk about joining Purdue. I'd be happy to. Thank you so much.
Sarah, thank you. I have a feeling you're going to be very busy over the next few weeks.
I hope so. I hope so. I welcome it.
Thank you for sharing from kind of the history of the college through to kind of present day and what students can experience with online education at Purdue.
Okay, thank you.
Folks, we are going to switch now to Penn, University of Pennsylvania. their engineering programs and online in particular. And Jean, I will turn it over to you.
Great, thank you. Thank you everybody for taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble about this program that I absolutely just adore. So on the first slide, I wanted to talk about our mission. And it's really just, as we were developing these programs, as we were developing their online experience, we wanted to make sure that we always had these guiding principles and this guiding understanding of what we wanted to do. And our mission at the end of the day is just to expand access to a world-class education and engineering. That's it. So however we want to do that, however we're able to do it, that's what our mission is, and that's what our guiding focus is. So why Penn Engineering Online? Well, our Penn culture is made up of a collaborative community of students, our faculty, our staff, and we are very committed to make sure everybody, all of our students are there to be successful, and we can get you through the program and to get to ultimately to get you to reach your goals. And there's 4 ways that we do this on the next slide, and we'll talk about this. So there's 4 things that we go for. We want to ensure that we're building a thriving community. We want to empower student success. We want to ensure that there's educational excellence, as well as making sure that we're always on the forefront of innovation. And I'll go through every single one of these. On the next slide, thank you. So, yep, right there. So because of this mission, we were able to build something that has been truly impactful. So back in 2019 is when we launched our first fully online degree program. That's our Master's of Computer and Information Technology. So we actually just celebrated our 5 years with this program. And then in 2023, we launched our Master's in Science and Engineering and Data Science. And then finally, our last one that we just launched this year is our Master's of Science and Engineering in Artificial Intelligence. Our MCIT online degree, we have almost 2,300 students, our DS 300 students, and our first cohort of our AI students, we're looking around 80 people. And then we also have a lot of graduate certificates that we are able to admit our students into and our alumni into. So there's a lot of different ways in order for us to reach you wherever your path is. On the next slide, it shows you all of those different pathways. So for MCIT Online, that's our Master's of Computer and Information Technology. It has 10 courses. 6 courses can be used as a dual degree. You can have a dual degree with our data science degree. You can have a dual degree with our artificial intelligence degree, or you can also do a certificate on top of that degree. So what makes MCIT so special is that you don't have to have a coding experience in order to do this program. We take you from the very beginning, and then we transform you into a coder and whatever else you wanted to do. If you wanted to become a data scientist or an engineer, however, whatever that pathway is that you want, we'll able to get you there. So our Master's of Science and Engineering and Data Science is a little bit different because we do require that you have some background in data in software systems in order to do this in computer engineering. And again, there are 10 courses a part of that. And the same thing with our Master's of Science in Artificial Intelligence. So those 2 things do require a prerequisite, which is why the dual degree with our MCIT program is really beneficial, and it'll take you from no coding experience to wherever you want to be at the very end. Next slide, please. Talking about our global community, we have students all around the world. We're in about 50 countries. We're on 6 continents. I'm really looking for somebody from Antarctica so I can get those 7. So if there's anybody from Antarctica, just so I can personally cross that off the list. But we have a lot of places that our students are learning from. And we have tried to create this community for our students that you never feel that you're left on your own to your own devices. There's always support and there's always help. And we tried to cultivate those communities within the different countries that people are learning from, so that way you have support close by to where you're learning from. Next slide. We do this through multiple different ways. The first is that we have a very active Slack community. So all of our students are on Slack. This is how we communicate to our students about any updates or any announcements that we have. But also there are many different channels in which our students can join. So there is a channel for pets. There's a channel for parents who code. And it's just a way for you to connect to your fellow students in the immediacy. We also have an MCIT Online Student Association. So if you want to join your student governance, you can absolutely do that. And then we also have a side projects that we call Spark. This is a group project that you're able to do, and it's more of a competition. In the past, we've had judges from AWS, so they can judge your work. And then you can, collaborate with your fellow students, work on real world problems and then be judged. And then, it's a competition against, and there's some really great prizes. I think one year we did have, we had an interview with AWS was one of the prizes. So it's just a really fun competition that you can do with your fellow students. Next slide, please. Another way that we do this, so we have several different on-campus events too, just because you're learning online does not mean that we don't believe that you are a full Penn student. We want you to be ensured that your degree is the same degree that you would get on campus. But also, if you want to come to on campus, you would be fully welcomed to do so. So we have our Fall Fest. So this is an annual thing that we do where the students, the alumni, and the faculty all get together on campus. And we try to make this a really fun experience. We've done this during homecoming, so you can go to a football game. We have a lot of events, and you can talk to our faculty. You can, tour the buildings. You can get a pen card too if you'd really like to. But then if you're not able to come to us, we do try to go to you as well. So we do have road trips and meetups. So our associate dean, Boon Tao Lu, goes to, he was just in China and he was just in Vietnam. So he can, talk to you if you're out in Singapore. We go out to Seattle, San Francisco. We're in Philadelphia, of course. We've gone to the UK, Amsterdam, Beijing. So there's a lot of different things that we can do to make you feel that you're learning, that you're not on your own. Next slide, please. Just because we have that community, we also want to ensure you're successful. These programs are online, but they are actually extraordinarily rigorous. They are the same degrees that you would find on campus. So they're tough, and that's okay. So we have a massive student support to get you through these programs. Our student success team, they are proactive. You will be assigned an advisor. We are tracking to make sure that you are getting your assignments done, that you're not struggling in any sort of way. If we think that you are struggling, we will reach out to you and we will help you, guide you through the process. We also have academic coaches. So these are students that become our leaders. They help guide and they help mentor. So either you can work with an academic coach, or on your journey, if you want to become one, you're absolutely able to do that as well. Next slide, please. This is just a snapshot of the exceptional faculty that we have working with our online degree programs. Our senior associate dean, Boon Tao Lu, is our champion. He is very much a part of all of our learning, and he is a big supporter of ours, and he's brilliant. We also have Chris Callison-Birch. He is the program director for our AI degree. Tom Farmer is our program director for our MCIT degree, and James G is our program director for our MSEDS degree. You'll be learning with all of these other fantastic faculty, from Susan Davidson, Zach Ives, Val Tannen, Andreas Aberlin. These are all incredibly helpful, intelligent, but they're also incredibly helpful if you need further assistance. Next slide. And then graduation. This is we do another on-campus event for graduation as well. We have a reception afterwards. We have around almost 1,500 graduates of our program so far. We do a really big reception, and it's actually incredibly fun. And it's honestly very rewarding for us as well, because we can see students that we've worked with over the past 2 to 3 years meet each other for the first time and see each other for the first time and comment on how that they feel like they've known each other for a very long time, but they're actually meeting for the first time, which is incredibly cool. Next slide. And then, not to be outdone, but this is why we do online programs. It's really to change your life and to get you where your goals are. And so our outcomes are speak for themselves, I'd like to say. So of our graduates, 65% of them reported that they're in a new position. 21% remained in the same position, and the average salary is around 142K. This is in USD. And then when they talk about employment functions, a lot, half of them are software engineers and developers. 25% are in data and analytics. There's product managers, project managers, and IT. We've had our top employers are Amazon, Google, Microsoft, AWS. We work with all of these. And we also have our career services that will help you get to where you need to be in terms of resume help and professional development and all those things. And then, how do you do this? So our early application for this year actually just passed. So our early application is a couple months before our regular application deadline. That was on March 3rd. We do have scholarships that are available, but those are part of our early deadline. So if you'd like to apply for that, you would have to wait until our spring cycle, which is next. But our regular application deadline is on May 12th of this year. And we get you your decisions by June 13th. And our onboarding course and our classes start in August. For the application, we do require resume, personal statement, unofficial college transcripts, an application fee, letters of recommendation. The GRE is optional, and we do accept the DE language proficiency test. But we also have a checklist online too to walk you through exactly what you need. If you have it, make sure you get everything together before you submit your application. Next slide, please. And then if you have any more questions, so here's a QR code to get all of your questions answered so you can learn more. If you want to schedule a one-on-one with any one of our admissions advisors, we have office hours available to you. So you can make sure that you talk to somebody, because we know how important that is, rather than an email. We also have additional events that we host. So we have application insights webinars. We have webinars with our program directors. So those would be our faculty, Tom Farmer, Jim G, Boon Tel Liu we have on, and Chris Callison Birch. So please go to our site and look for our events and sign up for one. And we're here to help. So again, you can always email us as well. And we are very happy to help you. And we can't wait to see all of you, hopefully very soon. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean. That was really informative, and we'll see what we can do to help you with that Antarctica student in your pool.
Thank you. This has been a big thing for me, so I really, really like to do it.
Wonderful. At this point, I'm going to ask all panelists to come back. We're going to spend a few minutes addressing some questions that have come in both upon registration for this webinar, as well as kind of in our chats and our social feeds. The first is, and you each covered this briefly, particularly around sponsorships with employment and tuition assistance, but could you each provide a bit more information about financial aid and scholarship opportunities for international students in particular? And Sean, we will go with you first.
Absolutely. So what I can tell you is I'm gonna pull up a link here that we can drop into the chat as well. That these items are centrally managed by the Columbia Engineering school. So I'm going to make sure that this is not unique to the online program. Our on-campus programs are also largely comprised of international students. And so we will be adding a link to the Student Financial Services office from Columbia Engineering, which has a lot more guidance about all of these things. But it's not unique to the online office. It's not centrally managed by CVN, and we'll provide more information in the chat in just a moment.
Wonderful. Thanks, Sean. Sarah, what about at Purdue?
It's actually pretty similar. Our bursar's office handles most of the payment information. For our programs, scholarship opportunities are handled per program by the individual programs. So for example, I know that our electrical and computer engineering master's program does have some scholarships that they offer out, but they handle it directly through their program, whereas our civil engineering does not have scholarship opportunities. So it's handled based on the program itself. So I don't have specific information, but feel free to reach out using that email address, and I can direct you to the specific school to find out more information about the scholarships.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sarah.
Sure.
And Jean, any additional information for international students in particular?
For international students, so a couple things. The first is our tuition is relatively I don't want to say cheap, that's a really bad word, but we're more cost effective. So our tuition just in general is about a third less than our on-campus degree. So you'll find that while there is a cost associated with it, it's not as much as you might think. The other thing is too, is that once you're on campus, there are ways for us to help. You're not allowed to be a teaching assistant, but we've created other ways for you to be an ambassador for us or a student leader for us. So that way you could work and help offset some of the cost for tuition as well. What I would say is please reach out to us on your specific instance, and we can talk to you further then.
Wonderful. Thank you. So check websites and reach out with financial aid and scholarship questions. Thank you. Jean, I know that you mentioned on your slides May 12th is your regular application deadline for fall program start. Sean and Sarah, could you provide your upcoming deadlines for applying for the fall?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Lindsay. Because we have such varied programs, a lot of our departments have different deadlines for themselves. The computer science department at Columbia Engineering has already had their final deadline for the fall 2025 application that they can guarantee that you'll receive a decision. Typically, for CVN programs outside of computer science, we have rolling admissions. And we generally advise that you'll expect a decision within 10 weeks, right? That's what the departments tell us. It's a very human task to review all these applications. And so it's subject to things like people going on vacations. And there might be certain times of year where they get processed really quickly and processed where they're times where they're processed a little bit more slowly. I would advise getting it in if you're an applicant for fall 2025 in any other than the CS program as quickly as possible. It is likely you'll receive a decision in less than 10 weeks, although we were advised to say you will definitely receive a decision within 10 weeks. If for some reason an application arrives and it is not reviewed in time for a specific term that you would like to apply for, we will reach out to you and either give you the option to refund your application, or if you'd like to, we can just bump it over to the next term, in which case you'll receive a decision very quickly. So we have rolling admissions for everything other than the CS department.
Thanks for clarifying, Sean. And Sarah at Purdue?
Yeah, so our application deadlines are different for each program, but generally for the fall, the soonest one coming up would be June 1st for our mechanical engineering program, and then the latest would be August 1st. So generally, I highly recommend, except for mechanical engineering, that is June 1st, getting in all applications by July 1st, because There's a lot of sabbaticals over the summer, faculty being out. So really the sooner the better.
That's great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll
Yeah.
conclude with one final question that came in. As you and the faculty, you work with the faculty who are making kind of admission decisions. One of our participants today asked, what advice do you have for an international applicant to set them apart? What are you looking for an international candidate to one of your very selective programs? Could you each provide just a bit of advice generally about what would set an international candidate apart? And Jean, we'll start with you.
Sure. There's a couple things that I would suggest. The first is we're always looking for math skills. So please, as you're going through our website and you're looking for what we're saying that we need, please make sure that you're highlighting your mathematical background, just so that's easy for us to see, because we are looking for that. The second and third thing is, do not underestimate the power of your personal statement. We go through every single application, we read every application, and we go through all of your materials. So as you're writing your personal statement, please make sure that you are explaining anything in your transcripts that we might see, or that we have a couple of questions that we ask you to answer. Please make sure that you answer those, because we are looking for the answers to them. And the third thing is, make sure that all of your materials are there. So if you have a couple of schools that you listed that you've gone to, please make sure that you have all your transcripts and everything in there. Oh, and lastly, your letters of recommendation. Make sure that you're choosing recommenders that know you and can speak to your work, and can really be a proponent of yours and sell you. These are, while you might not think that these we look at these things, we definitely do, and we do put some weight on all of these things. So
That's really helpful, Jean. Thank you for speaking on behalf of what sets an applicant apart for Penn. Sean, what about at Columbia, at CVN?
Yeah, Jean did a great job, I think, at highlighting the things that are probably common to most of us. I always like to tell folks in any walk of life, right? If you apply whether it's how you're submitting, anytime you're going to be reviewed, right? Consider that just like any homework you would have turned in, your penmanship sort of matters. It says something about you. That sort of applies to your application as well. Not your penmanship per se, but all those little things. Imagine that a person who's reading these applications is reading 1,000 of them. And one of them is really, really crystal clear and has all of its requirements right in a row. And another is a little bit harder to find out what they're looking for, right? Clarity really matters. And to echo Jean's point about on your personal recommendations, I think a lot of times people are inclined to feel like the office of the person who signs their letter of recommendation is most important, when in actuality, I don't think that's true at all. And in fact, those people in high offices or with fancy titles might have less time to write a really personal letter of recommendation for you. And again, these folks who are reading so many applications all the time, they can identify when a letter of recommendation is something of a form letter of recommendation, right? Something that is really unique to you, that really speaks to your character. The people making these decisions really want to know who you are. So the more personal, the better.
Thanks, Sean. And last but not least, Sarah will conclude with how an international applicant can stand out at Purdue.
I am going to say that they don't look at international students any differently than anyone here in the US. And what I recommend remembering while you're creating all your documents, whether it's your resume, your personal statements, recommendation letters, to remember that the faculty here at Purdue are what is reviewing your applications and making the recommendations for admission. Remember, you're talking to engineers. So speak as though you're speaking to a colleague. Address your skills, address what you've learned in your undergraduate career, address what you've learned on the job, talk about projects. Be very technical. I tell people to use the words that I wouldn't understand because they want to know your skill sets and your abilities. So make sure that that's what you're talking about and really brag about yourself because that's what they want to know. They want to know the best of what you're capable of doing to know that you're going to do great in the graduate program. So that's my recommendation.
Thanks, Sarah. That's a great note to end on. To all those listening, it's your time to shine. So take advantage of bragging about all your great accomplishments. Thank you all, Penn, Columbia, Purdue, for sharing what sets your engineering programs and online programs apart and what makes them unique, how students can experience being an engineering student online at your institutions. The things I took away are that they are high quality programs, they're accessible, and they're flexible. Similar to what we like to say about the Duolingo English test as an option to prove your proficiency. And so thank you for working with us to showcase your programs to our world of learners out there. So thank you all. Have a great day. Have a great evening.